The idea that some white man somewhere is making money off of me hating myself, there's no way in hell.
Hey, welcome back. My name is Nadia. We are finally going on a walk today, so let's go.
So this is your friendly reminder that diet culture exists and creates this narrative just so that we can focus on our bodies instead of everything else in life, right?
No. For starters, if diet culture used to mean something, fat acceptance has all but destroyed that. From what I can tell, anything promoting fitness or physical wellness just gets categorized as diet culture here. And Marissa herself is actually a great example of how hard it is to focus on everything else in life when we're not taking care of our bodies and our mind. If breaking free of diet culture affords us the ability to now think about everything else in life, then why does it seem like the main focus of Marissa's life is her body? And nothing for nothing, but giving out friendly reminders that something exists seems like a pretty good indication that said thing is easy to ignore or forget about altogether.
It's created to distract us so that they can control us. Because if we spend our entire lives hating our body, then we're not spending our entire lives doing what we want to do. We're not having hobbies, we're not getting jobs, we're not getting careers.
What? I don't know who out here is getting to pass up on having or finding a job just because they have body image issues. You know what actually limits our hobbies or our job opportunities? Our bodies. I don't want to dismiss our history of awful diet and fitness scams in this country, but fat acceptance is equally as scammy as any of the diet culture they point fingers at.
What if I want to eat Taco Bell every single day? I fantasize about it. My name is Sammy. I'm a registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor, and Mama loves a Crunchwrap Supreme. So I feel you. I want you to go to Taco Bell. I want you to go to Taco Bell every day. And I want you to allow yourself to eat the Taco Bell. I don't want you sitting there saying, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm such a bad person. Why am I doing this? I don't deserve this. Because if you were eating the Taco Bell, but all of that self-talk is going on, that is something that we call mental restriction. So the first step to making peace with Taco Bell is allowing unconditional permission to eat it. Comment questions below.
People listen to and trust the experts in this space, and then they end up heavier than they've ever been with less mobility and more health issues. But she's gonna go on and try to sell obesity as liberation, despite this reality.
Diet culture is a part of the patriarchy, and it is a system used to control women because of our bodies and based in our bodies.
Real feminism is not caring about your body at all, right?
Right?
I know I don't respond well to this patriarchy argument. I do not like it, so there is a chance I am being overly dismissive here. But I am really tired of hearing fat acceptance activists frame poor lifestyle choices and illness as some kind of protest against the system, against the man.
The patriarchy.
Even if they felt this way, this is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. And nothing for nothing, definitely a conversation for another day, but every other beauty standard by the quote-unquote patriarchy is totally fine by them, and they completely, willingly participate in them. There's just one they have a problem with.
So the next time you want to hate yourself, don't. The next time you want to obsess about your insecurities, don't. And think about how you're fighting the patriarchy by not doing that. If you need a new motivation, use that.
What Marissa is doing here by framing obesity as some kind of protest is actually the same thing the tobacco industry did in the late 1920s to convince women to do something else that was terrible for their health. At that time, it was considered taboo and inappropriate for a lady to light up. So the industry was only able to poison half the population. They needed to find a way to sell their cancer to both men and women, and the way they did it was by equating their product with women's liberation. Torches of Freedom was the branding for this campaign, and at the center of this was a publicity stunt. The man who was hired to liberate women from their smokeless existences was actually the nephew of Sigmund Freud. His name was Edward Bernays. Both men were pioneers in their respective fields of psychology and public relations. Bernays planned this publicity stunt for an event that he knew would get a lot of attention from the press, the New York City Easter Day Parade. Bernays hired a group of young, attractive women to all light up their cigarettes at the same time at his given signal and then circulate through the crowd with them. The message was about asserting their independence and their right to equality, and this actually worked. The stunt served as a pivotal shift in attitudes and sales. Now fast forward almost 100 years, and we have fat acceptance activists trying to position obesity as a feminist protest to the patriarchy. Cigarettes and obesity, that'll show them.
I will say that this whole concept that I'm talking about in this video is like the one thing that made it like, aha moment for me back in the day, like 7-8 years ago. It's used to control us so that we can't pay attention to more important shit like ourselves.
Your body is part of yourself, Marissa, but I really love that she added that as the more important thing we're being distracted from, because we see a lot of narcissism in this space. But this whole conversation about smashing the patriarchy with obesity is reminding me of my least favorite TikTok.
The intersection of diet culture and feminism is fierce. This is from Anti-Diet by Christy Harrison, and she says, it's hard to smash the patriarchy on an empty stomach. I mean, come on. That quote is literally gold. Because it takes energy to break down systems of oppression. And you know what gives you energy? Food, baby!
I despise that TikTok. I'm sure it's not that bad, but for me, it's like nails on the chalkboard of my mind. That aside, people actually get persuaded by intuitive eating coaches like her. I came across a post from one of those people, and I want to read part of it for us. I've been doing intuitive eating, and it's wonderful to finally be free of restrictions and moral judgments around food, but I have gained weight. I'm now close to 300 pounds with a really big belly. I find now that walking makes my lower back really hurt after a couple blocks. I have to sit down and let it recover. Looking for tips because not being able to walk has really limited options for enjoyable movement and outdoor time. That's liberation. That's freedom. I think that's really sad. This lady can't even walk a couple blocks with her new liberated body, but hey, at least the patriarchy isn't calling the shots, right?
Right?
I'm going to take the heat since no one else will, and I'll talk about this. The fact that there are influencers who built gigantic followings based on their conversations around body positivity, healing your relationship with food and with exercise, who have now done a complete 180 and are now talking about weight loss medications, weight loss surgeries, and just like being on a weight loss journey in general, literally just making coffee or eating their breakfast talking about this shit is insane. That should literally be illegal.
The same people who package their BS as freedom and liberation will also say things like this. Like it should be illegal for you to change your mind, basically. Maybe those body positive influencers decided they want to be able to walk more than 2 blocks without having to take a break. Or, I don't know, go to the bathroom and wipe themselves when they're done.
Nobody likes a pick-me.
I wish I had like a foolproof way of kind of like pulling these people from the grips of diet culture and like self-hatred, but there is a $72 billion industry in this country that focuses on keeping people unhappy with their weight and selling them products to lose weight. And personally, I often function out of spite. So the idea that some white man somewhere is making money off of me hating myself, there's no way in hell. I learned to love myself partially out of spite.
There is so much emphasis on the grips of diet culture and the patriarchy and how much control they have. But I have never seen any group try to control people the way that fat acceptance does. It should be illegal to change your mind, to say things that Marissa doesn't like. Wanting to wipe yourself is ableist. That list goes on, and it sort of feels like what they've done best is to imitate the systems and groups that they claim to despise the most. I mean, they even made their own body hierarchy while simultaneously complaining about the patriarchal body hierarchy.
Okay, this is the fatness spectrum.
I am going to stop here for today with the fat acceptance. I'm curious to hear what you think about all of this. Is there more merit to the patriarchy argument? Or is this just a way for fat liberationists to convince themselves that merely existing is a form of protest? Let me know down below. I have started a new job while also spending the last month and some change looking for a new place to live. It's been a really hectic time, so I'm trying to find some balance again. But at this new job, I've been getting to be around people who are really working hard on themselves in the gym, and I'm learning a lot from a really knowledgeable personal trainer there. So it's also been a really exciting shift. Let me know how you're doing down below. I hope everyone is well. Take care until we talk again, and I'll have another video up soon.